stars are your mirrors, they reflect your soul. The universe whispers, you already know. Courage in your veins, destiny untamed. You're the heart of the lion, ready to ignite. Choose to shine, choose to glow. Choose to glow, feel the fire. Let it show. Choose to shine, choose to glow. Choose to glow, feel the fire. Never back down.
Happy New Moon Eve. This is a very, very powerful time of the monthly lunar cycle. In fact, those that have studied in secret societies and learned the tools of manifestation, energy manifestation, you might get lucky enough to find out that the new moon is the most powerful time to set your intentions. There's a number of reasons for this, but one of them relates to the power of the moon to affect everything with water, from our very bodies to the water in plants, as well as the water at the oceans and the rivers and the lakes and the streams. And so at the new moon time, the moon affects the water so that the water is drawn down deep into the roots of plants. Or if we're tuning into our bodies and how it affects our bodies, it draws the water, the focus, the prana, the energy inwards into our core. And so this creates a powerful opportunity to go deep, to tune in, to dial up to the source of who we are, why we are here, and what we're here to create. What makes this incredibly even more powerful is the fact that astrologically, this new moon occurring tomorrow, August 22nd at 11:06 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, will be occurring in the astrological sign of Leo. Leo is a fire sign. It's related to the element of fire. It is related to the element of royalty, dignity, loyalty, and courage. And it is all about stepping up into claiming our throne, placing the crown upon our head, reminding ourselves, remembering our true divinity as the children, the sons and daughters of God, Source, Universe, and claiming that power to lead, to shine, to show up on the world stage with all of the might, all of the brilliance, and all of the gifts that are our birthright. So jump on board with me, Blossom with the Stars, and we're going to take a little field trip into the stars to see where this new moon will be, what astrological sign it's going to be in. I want to show you it's going to be in Leo. Most of you following Western or tropical astrology, you're probably being told that this new moon is happening in Virgo, which is an earth sign. However, mainstream astrology, and this is the secret they don't want you to know about astrology, mainstream astrology is actually based on where the stars were and is no longer actually accurate to the actual sky. So if you want to follow an astrology system that's actually based on the stars and what's happening right now, jump on board. Let's go check out that new moon that's going to be happening tomorrow at 11:06 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's going to be happening in the astrological sign of Leo, Leo the lion, Leo filled with courage. Leo is a very powerful sign. And those of you who are born during Leo season, and the True the Stars time for Leo season is a little bit different than mainstream astrology. So if you were born between August 5th, 8th, up until about September 13th, that makes you a Leo. If you have questions, leave it in the comments and I will find out if you are actually born during Leo season. All right, let's go check out Stellarium. It's my favorite app because it shows, you go to stellarium.org, what is actually happening in the sky right now. And so amazing. Go there right now. And we see the sun currently in, and I'll just show you, here's the sky. This is what's actually happening right now. The new moon is when the sun and the moon come together in the same exact sign. And so the power of both the sun, which represents our soul, our purpose, how we shine, what our gift is to give this world, really our purpose, part of the purpose at least, is a very important component of astrology and for knowing the focus that is both there for us individually as well as for the collective. And so, with the sun currently shining in Leo and will be shining in the constellation of Leo until about September 13th. So, right now it's moving through the body of the lion. Wow. And there's something really meaningful that I want to point out here is that the sun is literally right at the heart of the lion, right at the heart. And there's actually a fixed star called, oh my gosh, Regulus. I blinked on the name for a minute. Regulus is known as the heart of the lion. And so when you have the sun shining and the heart of the lion, this is powerful energy. Some actually relate Leo to the return of Christ, right? That the Leo energy, Leo the lion, if you look at the Rastafari religion, for instance, their symbol is the lion. If you look back through all of the various different coats of arms from royal families, you'll often see the lion. And so for thousands of years, the lion has represented royalty, regality. It has represented stepping into our royalty, stepping into our divinity, stepping into placing the crown, sitting upon the throne. And what does that really mean, right? And I think as we move forward into this modern time, many of us are returning home to the cognition and the realization that our true might, our true brilliance, our true light comes from within. And that we all have this capacity and this power and this ability to step into and to claim Christ consciousness, right? To claim our higher self, to claim our connection to a higher power. And so here we sit with the sun shining in the heart of the lion. And there's a number of reasons why this is especially meaningful from an astrological perspective. One being that the lion is equated with royalty in astrology. So they often say that people who are born during the time of Leo or wherever we have Leo in our chart represents our divinity. It represents our light. It represents how we shine. It represents our royalty, our regality, our dignity. And so Leo people are known to be very proud, very bold, very big, very brave. They are the kings and queens of the zodiacal wheel. And of course, we all have Leo somewhere in our astrological chart. And so that's one of the reasons why it's so powerful to get a one-on-one astrology reading is that I can look at your chart and identify which of the 12 houses you have Leo. And so each of the 12 houses represent an area of your life, from your identity to your money flow, to your work life, to your career, your relationships, where you might potentially meet your potential partner. The chart shows so much information, even down to how many children you might have. And so it's really interesting and exciting to look at someone's chart and be able to share, for instance, where is this new moon, this activation of the sun and moon in Leo going to be landing in your astrological chart will be in your first house of identity. That means you're going to feel super powered over the next 2 weeks with this new moon energy until the full moon. Stepping into your power, shining your light, especially around how you dress, how you promote yourself, how you share yourself with the world, because the first house is all about identity and what you look like and how you interact with people and what your first impression is. If you have Leo on the 10th house, which means that you would have Gemini, Taurus on the rising, you would have sun and moon activating the house of career, which means this is going to be the next 2 weeks is going to be an incredibly powerful cycle for you to get on out there, shine your light, share your truth, and express yourself out into the world, because this energy, the sun and the moon coming together in the heart of the lion, will be shining its light into your house of career. And so it's super helpful and powerful to have your astrological chart. And especially since I do a lot of these lives and these readings, if you simply have that information, then when I do a live or a reading, you can always jump on and, ask me questions and I can tell you more information about your personal chart. This is such powerful information that has helped me so tremendously over the years with knowing what is going to be highlighted in my life, what is going to be activated by what's happening astrologically. Okay. So here we have Sun and Moon in Leo happening tomorrow at 11:06 p.m. What does this mean? Well, if the new moon is the most powerful time of, and you can see the moon right here in Cancer, right? And you can't even see the moon, right? Because it's a black moon. And so it's moving and it's going to meet the sun tomorrow by 11:06 p.m. And so the sun and moon coming together at that time represents the most powerful time for setting your intention. Then by the sign, and then hopefully you know which house of your astrology chart this is going to be activating, and you find this out based on the time that you're born and your rising sign. Then when the sun and moon come together in Leo, it means that this area of your life and this focus of the sun shining and the moon emotion is coming together for the next 2 weeks in this specific area of your life. Depending on knowing your astrology chart, you can find out where this is going to be happening. And it's going to tell you how Leo is going to be lighting up your life. So if you have it in your house of career, for instance, look at that. No, it's going to be lighting up your career. It's going to be a really great time to get out there and share your work with the world. Leo is, again, all about shining. It's a fire sign, so it might be especially hot. I'm here in California, and it's super, super hot. So the next 2 weeks may be quite warm, actually. And it's a great time to claim your courage, step into your bravery, and really choose to step forwards with your purpose and your mission. If it's in your house, your second house of money, which means that you have Virgo rising. I'm sorry, not Virgo rising. Cancer rising, it could mean that you're about to make a whole lot of money in the next 2 weeks. So that's super exciting. Leo is about, again, stepping into courage, stepping into bravery, claiming our power as the kings and queens of the land. And so really choosing and deciding over the next 2 weeks what area of your life you really want to step out onto the stage, because Leo is the quintessential performer of the zodiacal wheel. It represents artists, singers, dancers, actors, actresses, famous people, the kings and queens of the land. And so the next 2 weeks is a really good time if there's something in your heart, because Leo actually rules the heart center, that you're feeling really called to step into, to step out onto that stage, to perform, to share, to express. This is a really powerful time of the year, especially over the next 2 weeks, to get out onto your camera, and it takes some courage, it takes some bravery to turn that camera on and get out there and share yourself with the world. Every single time I sit down to do a live, my heart beats faster. I get a little more heat in my body, and it happens every time. And I just have to be courageous and push through in the similar way that the airline pilots push through to get that plane to rise up into the air. It takes a similar amount of courage and bravery. And with the sun and the moon coming together in Leo over the next 2 weeks, guess what? You're going to be accelerated. You're going to be activated. Your buttons are going to be pushed. Your power is going to be turned on, so to speak. Your superpowers are going to be activated, because Leo is superpower energy. It's the power of fire to sustain, to endure, and to create that which you want to create out there in the world. So it's a very creative time. It's a very expressive time. It's a very powerful time to share your gifts with the world. And at the same time, there's other things happening astrologically that I want to share with you that you may be sensing, you may be feeling, and it might be getting a little bit steamy. Okay, so what am I talking about? Well, today, Venus, the billionaire planet, just changed signs. And so wherever Venus is represents sort of the quintessential best way to create income, wealth, abundance, and money. And so Venus was in the sign of networking and marketing and an air sign. And so there's a lot of communication and talking and sharing. And that was a great way to make money. But now she has switched gears and she's moved into, starting today, a water sign. Oh boy. Water signs are all about emotion. They're all about intuition. They're all about feeling, which is good for Venus because Venus is a goddess energy, the most abundant, prosperous, wealth energetic of all of the planets. Venus is all about wealth and abundance. And really, that stems and starts from feeling that worth, that value, and that abundance from within. And so let me just show you the chart. There are so many planets in water tonight as we move into a fiery new moon. And so when you have this combination of many planets in fire and many planets in water, guess what? There may be a little bit of steam. So let's take a look. Let's check out the chart for this upcoming, for today, as we move into the new moon happening on Friday, which is tomorrow. And so you can see the sun is in Leo with the moon still in Cancer. Cancer is water. Cancer is emotion. And the planet that actually rules Cancer is the moon. And so wouldn't you know, as we go into this fiery, hot Leo full moon, I'm sorry, new moon happening Friday night, you might be going into it feeling rather emotional, especially because Mercury, the planet of communication, is also in Cancer, a water sign. And Venus, the goddess energy, the billionaire planet, has literally just gone into Cancer today. And that's three very powerful planets in water. Not to mention that this Uranian planet called Vulcanus, which is related to volcanoes, is currently conjunct Mercury, the planet of communication. There could have been some fiery or expressive communication, emotional communication that may have happened over the last couple of days. So in which case, just know things are getting expressed. The reason that volcanoes explode is that they have been holding in tension and energy for a long time, and they have to express it. They'd have to release the pressure, which is one reason it's so great to do energy work and energy clearing. One reason I work with my partner constantly, Michael Grady, to clear energy, to clear blockages, both in my clients and in ourselves, because we don't want to keep things in. We want to acknowledge, we want to become aware of, and we want to let the charge go so that we can move through and flow more. Okay, so there's a really big thing that Venus, the billionaire planet, the energetic of the divine feminine on the earth, going into Cancer. What is Cancer energy? So Cancer is the home. It can be the mom, the home, the family, the memories. It can be your ancestors. It can be the DNA. It can be old memories. It's our sentimentality. It's our attachment to the home and the family. It's our attachment to the mom, to nourishment, to nurturing, to safety, to security, just like the crab, which is Cancer's symbol, is attached to its home and protective of its home, which is all wonderful, right? And then it can go to an extreme. That means people, when it comes to money or spending money or ways to make money, are going to be very deeply influenced by their emotion, right? How they feel. They're going to be very much influenced by their family, by their place of origin, by their homeland, by the patterns and behaviors of the family. They might especially be noticing being influenced by the mother. And in fact, if you are a mom, or you are someone who works with families, Venus going into Cancer is a very powerful time for you to step into more abundance, more prosperity, more wealth around sharing your gifts with families, with the mom, with people, and if you work with emotions, if you're a therapist, if you're a support staff, if you're someone who helps and assists people with their emotions or with their home, maybe you do interior design or interior decorating, then this new moon, Venus going into Cancer, is going to be very productive, very lucrative, very helpful in terms of increasing abundance, increasing wealth. Very, very powerful energy here. Okay. And again, if you have any questions or comments, you want to know more about what I'm sharing with you astrologically, please feel free to post the comment in the chat and I can answer any questions you may have about what is going on astrologically with the energies as we head into this new moon. And so now I want to share with you kind of this big thing that's going on astrologically that you may be feeling the most deeply. And it's that we have Venus, the goddess energy, the billionaire planet, greatest wealth, in the sign of home and family, in the sign of water, emotion, how we feel, our sensitivities, our awarenesses, our connections to our intuition. It's very beautiful energy. And it's directly opposite, which creates a lot of polarity. It creates a lot of tension. It can create some pull, can create challenges in the sign of and the planet Pluto. And Pluto is volcanic, okay? Pluto is the underground. It's all the things that have been buried, kept secret, hidden, lied about. When you talk about skeletons in the closet, that's Pluto energy. Talk about secrets that have been buried in the government, that's Pluto. And so when Pluto aspects another planet, you can expect a lot of truth, a lot of revelation, a lot of things coming to light that have been hidden. Whoo-wee. And so Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn, which is government. And so, and it's actually retrograde right now and will be in Capricorn for the next 13 years. And so, what we can expect with Pluto and Capricorn is great revelation, transformation, truth being brought to the light in the government for the next 13 years. And in fact, Pluto is in the exact same sign that it was at the signing of the US Constitution, which is absolutely powerful and amazing that we're sort of rewalking this ground. And the fact that Pluto in Capricorn, Pluto, the planet of transformation, the planet of explosive truth being brought to light, one of the symbols for Pluto is, of course, a volcano, is directly opposite Venus. And Venus, of course, is related to money. It's the billionaire planet, it's our greatest wealth. And so this is an incredibly powerful time to clear our blockages to wealth. It also may be a time when secrets in our family around wealth, things in our ancestry related to wealth, like, for instance, what were our ancestors' points of views about money? What were their ideas, thoughts, feelings, emotions about money, or their experiences with money, with wealth? And so when Venus is in Cancer, Venus, of course, being greatest wealth and abundance, and Cancer being the home and the family and the DNA, the ancestry, our past, where we come from, our root system. And it's directly opposite Pluto, which is the planet of greatest transformation, greatest intensity, greatest revelation in the sign of government. All signs point to there being some very big transformation in the government and also affecting our relationship to money, to wealth, to abundance. And that could show up in a number of ways. One could be a revelation about the example that's coming to mind is the US Mint, the US Treasury, what's happening with the money flows in our country. And Pluto opposite it could mean truth coming to light, some sort of revelation. In a similar vein that over the last several months, so much information has come out about what's been happening in the underbelly of the government. And so much truth is going to be coming up, especially around abundance, around wealth, around our ability to create and manifest wealth. And one of the key roots that you can look to get guidance and assistance to help you break through the wall of wealth is to look into your DNA. And my partner and I actually do energy clearing work to clear the ancestors to clear the DNA. If you'd like to join us for one of our energy clearing calls where we dive deep into clearing the ancestors and the DNA, especially around wealth and money, we will be doing some live wealth clearing workshops this coming Sunday. And so if you want to get in on that, I have to say this is astrologically one of the most powerful times I've ever seen to clear wealth blocks in the DNA. Okay. And so one of the things I love about bringing together energy clearing and astrology is that we can pinpoint what's happening in the planets and then cater the the energy healing to dive into what the planetary energies are bringing to the surface, what they're triggering up for us to clear, because it's easiest to clear actually when we're triggered. And so the planets kind of do that for us. They're kind of this oscillating energy activation grid that is activating and triggering specific things and areas up for us to clear consistently throughout the every day. And so knowing the pattern, knowing what each planet means, knowing where they are, and knowing how that affects you personally is very, very powerful. In fact, that is why they say that millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. And the reason for this is that it gives you such a bird's eye view into what's happening right now. Okay, and so this is the biggest thing I want to really call to everyone's attention is Pluto opposite Venus. Pluto being transformation, revelation, truth being brought to the surface, and Venus, of course, being greatest wealth, greatest abundance, greatest prosperity. One of the ways that this prosperity could come through with Venus in Cancer is through the family, through the home, through the mom, through emotion, through feeling, right? And so if you're someone who's more emotional or intuitive, I'm clapping for you because this is a very powerful time to become wealthy, to become abundant, to manifest greater wealth and abundance through your emotion, through your intuition, and through your home and through your family. And so this may be a time where we see a lot of women or people who work with the home and the family really accelerating and creating more wealth and abundance in their life. This could also be a time that can be a little challenging with the family because Venus is love and delight. It's in the sign of home and family, but it's opposite Pluto. And so what this means is that there may be a lot of depth to clear. There may be a lot of things that are in your family that maybe you haven't addressed. It hasn't been dealt with. There's some deep things that you haven't been aware of. And those things need to be brought to light. And so one of the ways that you can experience this, you might feel tired, you might feel triggered, you might feel more emotional, of course, Venus being in the sign of emotion. And so I want to really, really advise and recommend to do some energy clearing work, whether that's to work with myself and my partner or to go out there and work with another practitioner. A lot of things are going to be coming up for everyone, especially related to home, related to family, related to being the feminine energy. And so as women, where are we carrying traumas and dramas and pains related to this Pluto and Capricorn energy opposite it, with Volcanus in the mix too, which is volcanic emotion. And so if you've been feeling a lot of intensity, the emotions are being activated, and they're being activated so that we can bring to the surface the things that are buried, the things that are hidden, and bring them to the light to release them and to heal them. You know, added into the mix, we have Chiron, the wounded healer, currently retrograde with and in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is the sign of spirituality. It is the sign of the Christ itself. It is the sign of the intermediary between us and God. And so Pisces energy is the communicator between the human body, the human being, and Christ. And it is currently retrograde. And so that could be bringing things up related to religion, related to spirituality, related to our connection to source, to God, to spirit. And you can see that sort of playing out with the issues in the Middle East. And so the invitation with this, and it can be so deeply impactful of our hearts, especially with the sun currently shining directly on the heart of the lion, and is so powerful, which can point to royalty, right? It can right here exactly conjunct Regulus. And so this new moon is so powerful because Regulus is a huge fixed star. It's so big, and so look how bright it is, right? I'm sure it's maybe farther than the sun, but just incredibly luminous. And this is literally the heart of the lion. And so the question and the invitation I want to put out to everyone is to really invite you to step into your heart with this new moon, to really step into your heart. Step into the heart of truth, of what it is you want in your life, not what your ego thinks, not what the pressures from outside people are trying to tell you, but what is really in your heart. Because the power of the lion, the power of the sun and the moon coming together are here. And they're here to support you. They're here to support you into saying your lion's roar, to singing your song, to sharing your truth, to doing what you are here to do on this earth. And so I want to just take a moment here to invite everyone to join me, to tune into the heart, to tune into the heart of the lion, the heart of the roar, the heart of your truth, the heart of why you're here. And I just want to invite you to tune into what is your heart's deepest wish? What is your heart's deepest calling? What is source? What is universe? What is the creator of all that is guiding, calling, directing, inviting you to step into? Because this is a moment in time where all of the universe, all of the planets and the stars are aligning to support you to step into that might, to step into that brilliance, to step into that light, to claim your true gifts, to claim your true power. And I just want you to know you have whatever it takes. Please step into your heart. Allow your heart to guide. Allow your true self to be the victorious winner, guiding you and supporting you to step ever more deeply into your truth and into your power as we align and connect the might of the lion and the might of the heart of the lion. Feel the support of the entire galaxy, all the planets, all the stars, all of the universe here aligning to support you, to be at your back, knowing that you can, you are, you will. Allow yourself to step into your heart and to claim the truth and to claim your destiny of what you're here to create on this earth. You have the power, you have the abilities, you have the might. Claim it, own it, tap into it. This is here for you now. Feel its heat, feel its power. You are supported, you are guided, you are allowed and invited to step into your royalty, to reclaim your throne, to reclaim your crown of divinity, of holy light. Just as the lion steps into his might, you too are invited to step into your might. And this is what I would truly call the real lion's gate right now, with this new moon and the sun and the moon coming together at the heart of the lion, sending you all so many blessings of love and light. May you step into the truth. May you step into the might. May you step into the power of your holy light. Happy new moon, everyone. May all the gifts and blessings of your truest self, your truest heart, come forth and shine for you and everyone in your life. Biggest love. Aloha.
The stars and the velvet sky, whispers of the cosmos, hear the reasons why we're all inside. It's burning bright, the heart of a lion, ready to ignite. Choose to shine, choose to glow. Feel the fire, let it show. Like the sun, you shine, you glow. New moon heart, let the power flow. Royalty, claim your crown. Rise above, never back down. Footsteps echo on the golden ground. Every choice a jewel, every word profound. Shadows fade, They can't compete with the rhythm of your fearless beat. Stars are your mirrors, they reflect your soul. The universe whispers, you already know. Courage in your veins, destiny untamed. You're the heart of the lion, ready to ignite. Choose to shine, choose to glow. Choose to glow, feel the fire, let it show. Choose to shine, choose to glow. Choose to glow, feel the fire, never back down. Choose to shine, choose to shine, choose to glow. Choose to shine, choose to shine, choose to glow. Feel the fire in the heart, let the power flow. Royalty, loyalty, claim your crown. Rise above, never back down, never back down. Never back down. Never back down. Sparkle with the stars in the velvet crown. Every choice a jewel, every word profound. Shadows fade, they can't compete with the rhythm of your fearless beat. When you crown, rise above, never back